Proper copper.
No, don't do that move. Just do it like a rapper.
Proper copper?
Yeah, that's good. Do that.
Wiggle.
Yeah, that was good.
Who's shooting?
We've weathered a few storms, but it's
Yeah.
been okay.
Weathered. That's like good jokes. You gotta be kidding.
I really can't work with them.
Okay, we are finished. It was a little more challenging than I expected.
The militia!
What is that? What is that?
Sounds like guns.
Is this where we start doing the...
No.
This
Just
stuff?
give it a second. Just pause, breathe.
Coat, you have a donkey coming up by your butt. Come here, Burpee. Oh, never mind. I shouldn't say that, should I?
Hi, I'm Mandy.
Hey guys, I'm Chris. Welcome back to Harmony Hill Farms.
Now you're probably wondering why this looks like a cooking segment. I assure you it is not. I'm actually no good in the kitchen. I think you can attest to that, right?
You are the cleaner of the pair.
That's right.
Yeah. In fact, sometimes you clean faster than I cook. I'll turn around. The thing I needed, already put away.
So being the neurotic goat lady that I am, I notice every little nuance. Sometimes it's sort of like the warrior in me as a mom, and then a goat mom or an animal mom. It's probably not a good thing to you, right?
You do have a tendency to kind of like worst case scenario it. You see something, you jump on your groups online, boom, diagnosis. We are seconds away from death. Rush to Bonnie's barnyard, get some medicine, and solve the problem.
Anyway, today what we're here for is I've been noticing a lot of changes in our goats over the past 6 months, I would say. Rough, dull kind of coat. There's been a couple of goats that have had like clumps of hair falling out. On our black goats, there's been lightning and like where it looks almost red.
Like a rusty color kind of coming through in certain
The
spots.
the tails just don't look right. And I started doing a lot of research, and we've also had a lot more parasite problems this year, and we've never had
We've had to worm way more.
But there's been a couple things that have been changing, that have changed over the past 6 months, and that is we have sheep and goats, and that's really tricky because goats need copper and sheep cannot.
Right.
Like it is
Copper is
completely
deadly to sheep.
Toxic.
In fact, like you buy something for goats, and in big print it'll say, "Caution: do not feed to sheep," because
Right.
copper's poisonous to them.
Right, and so that's been a challenge. And what we've had is we have our goat minerals and baking soda in feeders really high where they have to climb to get it, and our sheep can't.
Yeah, we kind of got creative, thinking, okay, what can a goat do that a sheep can't? We came up with those spools, and they
Right.
jump up, but it doesn't seem to be really cutting it because.
Right, because we used to have copper in our goat feed, and now we can't
Use that feed.
use that feed anymore. I started reading and talking to a lot of people who know a lot more than I do about it, and came to the conclusion that we have a copper deficiency in our animals and our goats, and many of these issues have resulted in that deficiency.
And I think it's really a combination of two things. One, having the sheep with the goats,
Yeah.
so it limits what we can do. And then the other thing that we did different this year is switching to a primarily alfalfa blend. One of the things we learned about alfalfa is that it has a tendency to strip out the copper that may already be in the goat. So not only are we not able to give them as much copper as they need, but then what we're feeding them is actually also pulling that copper out of their system.
And now we have to do something about it. And so what we are going to do today, make goat copper fig Newtons, I guess.
Goat snacks.
Goat snacks.
And so what we're using is this Cop Assure or Cop Pasture. It's a 4 milligram little copper tablet. Comes in a capsule.
And it's like little broken down copper particles that you have to dose extremely accurately.
Right, because you can also have the problem of copper toxicity.
Right.
Too much copper is actually worse than too little copper. So you're hitting the sweet spot.
Right, so we're going to have to weigh our goats today. It is 1 gram
Per 22
pounds
Right.
of goat. So there's a couple that I'm really sure are over a certain weight limit.
So we don't have to be as careful. And some of them we're going to have to make sure we're precise. And goats are really, really good at spitting these up.
Yeah.
So we're going to break them
Which I can
apart
imagine.
and then put them in the Newton so that they won't really know they're getting it. And then I think what we're going to do is we're going to maybe wait, 2 to 3 weeks, see if we see an improvement, and then decide if we need to do a second treatment.
Yeah, and we'll probably treat on the low side.
Yeah,
We're definitely
cautious.
going to be cautious because we've never done this before, and but we have talked to a number of people, and I feel good about it. I definitely believe that we have extremely copper deficient goats. So
All right.
here we go.
Let's do you want to break this open?
Yeah. See, he automatically takes over because we're in the kitchen.
All right. So what I'm doing is I'm breaking this capsule and just pouring. Wow, you know what it looks like? It looks like little metal shavings or something, like pencil lead or something.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, I pictured it to be copper color. All right, so that's 4 milligrams, and since some of our goats are going to be under the full 4 milligram dose, we're going to actually use this teaspoon and then put it in the center of one of these fig Newtons here. So what we're going to do is we're going to split this thing open, kind of butterfly it.
Now we are not treating any of our kids, any of our little ones. We are absolutely not treating. We're treating only adult goats today.
So I'm going to do about half of this in there.
Do you want to use this to try to do it again?
That's half right there. So I'm just going to smash it into the figgy part here, kind of get it to stick. And then I'm going to put this sandwich back together. And then just put this in the pile of the 2 milligram dosage for the smaller goats.
Okay.
See how I clean up after myself even?
That's good training.
Yeah, that's good training.
That's taken me 14 or
I know, I noticed today I was just sweeping and I'm like, how did she do this to me? Okay, so we got the first one, so I guess we just keep going. Let's go ahead and pause here. We'll pick up outside as we're doing the dosing and the weighing and seeing exactly who gets what.
We'll see how that. We'll see.
I'm going to have to pick up one of these goats for size. So, let's see. I'll probably pick up the one that I think is the smallest. Dosage. We're going to try to get them all into a stall and give them their copper snacks. We'll see how this goes.
All right, that's all the girls. How's this? Oh, this
Well, we just finished, and we gave everyone their copper treats. Our Joes got some, our Buckmo and our Weather Sky received a copper treat. Not everybody loved it. I would say for the most part in the Fig Newton it was a big success. I had a couple nervous Nellies, that's all I'm saying. But I feel like we're going to see how this goes. We're going to check in the weeks to come how the coat's looking. Are we still having parasite issues that we've been dealing with? And then we're going to kind of address it from there. So hopefully there will be a follow-up that shows a good result.